Hey everybody, it's Jeremy Osterberger. We're here at the Texas Louisiana Environmental Health and Safety Seminar and Industry Trade Show, and I'm so happy to be with Cydney Schwarzlose, who is the Director of Air Quality at BGE. Cydney, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Jeremy?
I'm doing great. What do you think of the conference so far?
Oh, I think it's been great. We've had great attendance. We've got awesome speakers. Super excited about the speakers. And our exhibitors are really here in force this year, so it's great to see all of our exhibitors.
Cydney, you're the Vice Chair of the seminar this year?
Yes, I am. Yeah. It's been an interesting year being the vice chair. You get a backdoor peek at all the machinations behind the seminar.
And next year, you're going to be chair, is that correct?
Yes, I am. Yeah. So, going to be the chair. Got big shoes to fill after Richard Bass, to be honest.
I don't know him. No clue who that is.
But, TCC and Paula Larash are amazing to work with. So, we're going to have another awesome conference next year.
You feel the love with the team for sure, and I'm fortunate to know just about everybody, and love coming here every year, and just love the people that make it happen.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We have the best committee. I mean, we really have people from TCC, TCA joining together, sharing their insights, bringing the knowledge that they are interested in, listening to their industry partners about what they want to hear about. So it's just an awesome team. I love being a part of it. I mean, we're like a family, honestly, and it's amazing. So
That's awesome, Cydney. I'm glad to be a part of it, or a step cousin, something like that. So, Cydney, look, I want to talk about you and what you're doing. So, you're building a brand new air quality practice from the ground up at BGE. That's a big lift. I mean, what's been the most exciting or surprising part of that process?
Okay, so honestly, I'll tell you, like, truly naive going into this reality. I had a few different offers before I decided on BGE. The others, honestly, were going to be like comfort. They were going to be steps comfortably for me over into working with people I knew, working alongside people that I'd worked with a long time. And when BGE approached me, I thought, wow, am I up for this? Like, seriously? But honestly, there was a lot of naivete to how difficult it was going to be to start something from the ground up. So BGE is traditionally a civil engineering firm. And we had introduced environmental, but it was a different kind of environmental than I do. So on the air quality side, it's much more focused on engineering, and especially chemical engineering. And so I told my management, I was like, by the way, like, I'm not going to be an add-on project to anything you're currently doing. So I admitted that, but then I didn't realize what that really meant. So it really took pounding the pavement, getting out there, getting BGE's name out. I would walk into, like, the Gulf Coast Industry Forum. Nobody knew BGE. So that was probably part of the heaviest lift. Was BGE we've been around for 50 years in Houston, but not known in the industrial space. So that was probably the most surprising thing to me, was really having to build the brand before I could even then really sell the work. And I'll be honest, I don't live in Houston. I live on the west side of Austin. So I'm here all the time, though, because this is where my client base is. This is where the heart of the chemical industry is. And I'm passionate about helping them. So it's been a great marriage to work with the chemicals industry and really help BGE diversify our client base and support an industry that I've grown to truly love.
Thank you for telling us about that, Cydney. So with so many layers to environmental compliance, I mean, air, water, waste, I mean, how do you help clients stay focused on what really matters?
Well, I will say we're spoiled. Our clients could do the work we do without us. They just don't have the time. They're so busy in their day-to-day compliance work that they come to us when they have a unique challenge, or they've got a special permitting project that they need to do. And so we're really there as a partner. I don't take it as we're doing work for you because you can't do this, or we're stepping in to take on something you're not capable of. We really make sure we come together as a partnership with them, and they feel comfortable sharing their concerns, their issues with us. And then I talk about how we can take some of that burden on from them. And then we have a really open dialogue and collaboration to make sure that everybody's on the same page. We're all working cohesively together. And it just seems to put us all pointed in the right direction, focused on what's important. And then some of those distractions, when they come up, we can easily tackle those and keep moving forward. Yeah.
One sidebar question, I guess, Cydney, is industry. Is this all refining, petrochemical? I mean, what type of sites are we talking about for the industrial market?
So we'll really work on anything industrial. We work with pure manufacturing. We work with oil and gas. We work with petrochemical. We really can do anybody that has an emission source or discharges any kind of industrial wastewater. We can help them.
So you have a civil engineering background, Cydney. I mean, how has that shaped the way you maybe approach regulatory work and problem solving?
So interestingly, civil engineers are not typically air quality people. So I kind of snuck in. Honestly, early in my career, I snuck in on the chemical engineers and they started working with me and figured out they liked me, so they let me stick around even after they figured out I was a civil engineer. But really, honestly, engineers all at heart are problem solvers. And so really, in the air quality space, learning to solve problems, listening to our clients about what those problems are. And so really, any engineer, we're a problem solver. That's the basis of our heart.
And that's the connection. So, Cydney, the industry is always evolving. Are there any emerging trends or challenges in air quality compliance that you think people maybe aren't talking about enough?
I don't know that they're not talking about them. I think we kind of, are trying to pretend maybe they're not going to happen. That's one of the hard things for us, and it was in a session earlier today. They were talking about environmental regulations are constantly changing. We change from one presidency to the next. We get different priorities. Sometimes we strengthen regulations. Sometimes we loosen regulations. But it's funny to me, in my career, people have always been like, oh, well, regulations are going to go away. This is going to fade away. Well, it's never. But, we need to be able to adapt and change. But probably the most pressing thing right now for our industries are the changes in the attainment status. And then with PM 2.5, those changes to the PM 2.5 National Ambient Air Quality Standards, that is really difficult to comply with. And there is a lot of conversation around it, but I still don't think too many people have had to tackle it and really recognize how difficult it's going to be for industry to meet those new standards.
Can you dig into that a little bit more, Cydney? I mean, for folks that don't know what we're talking about, give us a quick, 30 seconds on what this means for industry.
Okay, so they really ratcheted down those standards, which means when we do air dispersion modeling, you have to make sure that any particulates going beyond your property boundary meet those standards, that you're not exceeding those standards, which they're set because of human health issues, right? We don't want to create health issues. But really, those got ratcheted down further than anybody actually thought they might. Scientifically, the basis wasn't there necessarily to support the standard that was set. And so what people are finding is that where you've built previously is now an issue, because if you have to do a project and you've got to do some additional air dispersion modeling, meeting the standards before was pretty easy. Meeting the standards now is extremely difficult. And so you really have to think a bit more consciously about where you're building, where on your site you're building, and how those new attainment standards are really going to drive some of your decision making.
Thank you for that, Cydney. Appreciate it. And Bick will keep covering a little bit more of that as things progress.
Okay.
So, Cydney, one of the common themes here is getting younger people more engaged in our industry, and specifically in the EH&S field. I mean, for younger professionals or engineers who might want to get into environmental work, what advice would you give them about starting their career and building their career?
So I think one of the things that benefited my career was I did a little bit of everything. I tried this, I tried that, I honestly, I never said no. I took every job that anybody gave me, and I mean, some of it was terrible. Some of it was literally taking one number in a letter and changing that number and sending a new letter out. But I took it because I knew that it was exposure to somebody I wanted to work with and who I thought could help me in my career and be a mentor, even if that wasn't an official mentor role. So really be open to all the possibilities that are out there in environmental. You said it earlier, right? We've got air, we've got water, we've got waste, we've got remediation, we've got natural and cultural resources. The environmental world is so diverse. Pigeonholing yourself early can limit you, or you could be a subject matter expert, right? But I feel like that diversity of experience has really benefited my career. I'm not an expert in anything, but I know enough that I can have a good conversation with you about it, and then I can find the right person to help you. So I think that's been really important in my career and can help other younger professionals.
Well, Cydney, we think you'll be an expert in EH&S seminars after your vice chair and chair role. So, Cydney, I'm so grateful for your time. You're always awesome to BIC, and we thank you so much for joining BIC Magazine for this interview today.
All right. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate it.